talking about? We're talking about spiders, and we're talking about pervitin', and we're talking about Bigfoot. I'm here to tell you where he's been. They call me Mr. Gulley. I'm here to save the day. They call me Mr. Gulley, and I'm gonna lead the way. They call me Mr. Gulley. I'm here to save the day. They call me Mr. Gulley, and I'm gonna lead the way. Here we go now. I'm talking about Mr. Gulley, and you don't know where he's been. Oh no, he's been right in your alley. Well, I'm Mr. Gulley, yes I am. So what we talking about? We're talking about spiders, and we're talking about pervitin', and we're talking about Bigfoot. I'm here to tell you where he's been. They call me Mr. Gulley. I'm here to save the day. They call me Mr. Gulley, and I'm gonna lead the way. They call me Mr. Gulley. I'm here to save the day. They call me Mr. Gulley, and I'm gonna lead the way. One, two, three, four. They call me Mr. Gulley. I've got something for your ear. Now it might sound kind of funny, but I'll make it very clear. So what we talking about? We're talking about spiders, and we're talking about pervitin', and we're talking about Bigfoot. I'm here to tell you where he's been. They call me Mr. Gulley. I'm here to save the day. They call me Mr. Gulley, and I'm gonna lead the way. They call me Mr. Gulley. I'm here to save the day. They call me Mr. Gulley, and I'm gonna lead the way. Here we go now. I'm talking about Mr. Gulley, and you don't know where he's been. Oh no, he's been right in your alley. Well, I'm Mr. Gulley, yes I am. So what we talking about? We're talking about spiders, and we're talking about pervitin', and we're talking about Bigfoot. I'm here to tell you where he's been. They call me Mr. Gulley. I'm here to save the day. They call me Mr. Gulley, and I'm gonna lead the way. They call me Mr. Gulley. I'm here to save the day. They call me Mr. Gulley, and I'm gonna lead the way.
Hey everybody, what's going on? What's hot? What's hip? What's happening? What is shaking? And tonight I'm going to tell you about the Australian TV series that was syndicated here in the United States, Skippy the Bush Kangaroo. I'm going to try not to do an Australian accent throughout this, and we'll see if we can get through it. I can't. I gotta. When I try to do an Australian accent, I come back always to Robert Scorpio on General Hospital saying holy. Holy. That's where it starts, is holy. Anyway, please like, share, subscribe, retweet, notification bell, all the free things you can do to help out our little program here, which is being throttled by YouTube right now for some reason. It's very clear and evident in the statistics. Also, I'm doing an A/B test of YouTube tag keywords that are generated by ChatGPT. No, we're not doing that anymore. Like all things, ChatGPT not always is advertised. Anyway, we have memberships, super chats, and all sorts of ways you can support our show. You can go to our merchandise store at thetomgulley.show.com. And you can always just give on PayPal. That way YouTube doesn't get any of the money, and I do. And your generous contribution is not usurped in any way by YouTube. There we go. Maybe I notified him. I'm hopeful that our good friend Scont from Australia will show up. I'm not sure that he will. He claims to be the producer of the show when he arrives here. He's kind of not, but maybe he'll be here. I even put the Australian flag up back there, which took a long time. So, anyway. Skippy the Bush Kangaroo. Thanks a lot, StreamYard, for not always going back to the main. Skippy the Bush Kangaroo. You're wondering, what the heck is Skippy the Bush Kangaroo? Well, you're getting a little of it right there in the image. Skippy the Bush Kangaroo is a TV series created by an Australian actor named John McCallum and some other guys, and it aired from February of 1968 to May of 1970. And what was it? Well, if you've ever seen Lassie, or you've ever seen Flipper, kind of like that with some important distinctions, but it was the adventures of this kid. There he is, named Sonny. And his highly intelligent, and when I say highly intelligent, I mean way more intelligent than you or me or anyone that you know, kangaroo named Skippy. Important to note, some places say that it's his pet kangaroo. Skippy was not a pet. That's a little bit unlike Lassie. Lassie, clearly a pet. Flipper, jury's still out. I mean, you can't keep a fish in the house. Technically not a fish. It's a but anyway, Skippy, not a pet. And I'll get to more of that in a second. Now, one of the main things about this show is that Sonny and his dad and his brother were all living in a giant national park, the Waratah National Park in Australia. His dad was the park ranger, all right? And that's where the show was shot. Now, their version of it, it was fictional. Obviously, it was a made-up TV show. They also shot in portions of nearby Ku-ring-gai Chase National Park near Sydney. 91 episodes were produced. They're 30-minute episodes. And a full-length feature film called Skippy the Intruders was released in 1968. Okay? So for those of you who are into like animal stuff, Skippy is an eastern gray kangaroo and is a female kangaroo. And what happens is Skippy is befriended by this little 9-year-old boy named Sonny. And Sonny has a 16-year-old brother named Mark, and he has his dad named Matt Hammond. And Matt is the head ranger of Waratah National Park. And so all of the stories kind of revolve around what's going on in this park. And that includes other kinds of animals that you find in Australia. It includes, natural hazards like floods and fires and things of that. And the things that visitors do. Visitors usually were stars of Australian TV who would come on for one episode. And those kind of visitors, guest stars in the shows, a lot of kidnapping and robbing of people and stuff, because Skippy was really good at foiling crime, much better than Lassie or Flipper. Skippy, we'll get to it, but Skippy is unusually good at doing things that you would not imagine a marsupial to be able to do. I should also mention at this time, I actually watched Skippy the Bush Kangaroo. It was syndicated here in the United States. So it was on one of the cable stations. It might have been Channel 9 or the Superstation 44. But it was on at a time during the day when I could watch it regularly. And I did. And there you go. Penal colony activities, says Despite. Well, as we know, Australia began as a penal colony. So now you're looking at these fellas and you're wondering, and by the way, that's what they would say in Australia, is you're looking at these fellas, these blokes, and you're saying, where's the mom? Well, the boy's mother is said in episode 48, entitled The Mine, to have died shortly before Sonny was born. If we could just take a minute for Mrs. Hammond, Matt's wife, Mark's mom, Sonny's mom. Just a moment of silence. CIA says Skippy created the problems to then act the hero. Well, occasionally, but usually not. Now, Skippy, who was small, smaller kangaroo, not like, as you can see, he's not one of those big giant kangaroos. All right. By the way, that other shot, I think that is the dad. This shot has a guy that showed up later that was part of the show that was another of the Rangers. But anyway, Skippy was not a pet. It's mentioned like prominently. This is one of the kind of the thing to me that separates Skippy the Bush Kangaroo from Lassie, and not so much Flipper, but also Flipper, is the plots were a little better written. And they stress the fact that Skippy is not a pet. Skippy lives in the park, and he is free to do whatever he wants, okay? Right? Now, he's pet-like in that he interacts with the family enough that he knows their rules and how to do things that they approve of and don't approve of. He's not going to come into the ranger station and take a big steaming Don Giller in the middle of the floor. He's at least that smart. All right. Now, Skippy was found in the bush, hence the title, I suppose, when he was a baby. Sonny found him, okay? And the reason those two bond, kind of, is that Skippy was an orphan. Skippy's mom was killed by poachers, okay? And if we could just take a moment for the untimely death of Skippy's mom. Thanks. But once Skippy got old enough to take care of itself, they said, okay, you go back to the bush. But there was such a strong bond between Sonny and Skippy and the rest of the Hammond family that Skippy would frequently visit them and come back and all that. Now, Skippy was an amazing kangaroo. Skippy was capable of like human thought. He was capable of understanding humans and not just what they were saying or, they're expressing alarm or sadness or whatever. He knew kind of exactly what they were saying and could respond to them as if he was human and not a kangaroo. It was uncanny. Skippy could open doors. She could carry things in her pouch. She could jump on logs to cross streams. Like the log is floating down, they jump on it. She was very skilled at foiling villains. She rescued a lot of people that were lost in the bush. You get lost out there in the bush. Very skilled at rescuing people. And she could untie ropes. She could collect the mail. And she could operate the radio. Yes, she was quite skilled at communications in general. Thank you, StreamYard. She's very skilled at communications. This is Skippy explaining Hamlet's soliloquy to the park ranger there. There's an episode where she plays the drums in a band. Yeah, I know, Scroat, I know. And in another one, she places a bet and she wins at the Randwick Rice Coals. Yeah. By the way, right here with Skippy is the helicopter pilot, Flight Ranger Jerry King, who is in his mid-20s. Later in the series, several female characters were introduced, including Dr. Anna Steiner, a research scientist working in the park, and schoolgirl Clancy Merrick, the teenage daughter of another park ranger who boards with the Hammonds. Yeah. Interestingly, an actor created this program, but that actor did not have a regular cast spot in the series. I'm going to mention these people's names. They're stars in Australia. They're very marginally known here in the United States, but they should get more recognition. Ed Devereaux was Matt Hammond. Gary Parkhurst played Sonny Hammond, who was really kind of, along with Skippy, the star of the show. Ken James was Mark Hammond, the brother of Sonny. Tony Bonner plays that guy there, Jerry King. Lisa Goddard was Clancy Merrick. Clarissa Clancy Merrick, because everybody in Australia has got to have a nickname. John Warwick played Sir Adrian Gillespie, head of the New South Wales National Parks Board. Elka Neidhart played Anna Steiner. And Skippy was played by 9 different kangaroos. 9. By the way, here's an exciting scene of Skippy being trapped by some evildoers. They locked him away in what appears to be a storage shed. Fear not, Skippy will have them out of there in a jiff, as they say in Australia. The lovely and talented Doopa-Doopa-Doo is here. She says, "Hello, Tom and Chant. I was believing everything until Skippy placed a bet." Skippy did a lot of stuff, and when you hear how he did it, you're going to laugh. So the series had 91 episodes, and they thought 91 was enough, but the reason they stopped was because the child actor who played Sonny, Gary Parkhurst, was getting too old to be palling around as he would with a bush kangaroo, for crying out loud. He wants to smoke cigarettes, drive cars, and ride around with girls. He doesn't want to... Anyway, the production company that made Skippy the Bush Kangaroo also started to, why doesn't it just go back to there? Also was responsible for a couple of other shows that became popular that didn't have, like there was a TV series called Barrier Reef, which I think also was syndicated here for some time, and another one called Boney. They did a feature film called Nickel Queen, and that made it so, well, we don't have to depend on Skippy quite so much anymore. So he's getting older. We're good. We're good. And it's weird, too, because the company, Fauna Productions, is still in business, okay? And they hold the copyright over the original TV series, Skippy the Bush Kangaroo, okay? The TV network that it was on holds the trademark, which maybe is common in Australia, but that's not quite as common here. I would play you one of the best things about Skippy the Bush Kangaroo, and that is the opening theme, which you can hear on YouTube. It's a bunch of kids singing, Skippy, Skippy, Skippy the Bush Kangaroo, Skippy, 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 a friend ever true. I, unlike other people, I think all of you know who I'm talking about, do not appropriate copyrighted works for this show. We use Creative Commons. We use stock that we have license to use and other things. And then there's fair use to consider, but we don't lean on that too hard. But I do highly encourage you to hear the Skippy the Bush Kangaroo song. Terry Neese, sing that again. Not for $2. I'll sing it again at the end of the thing. Clipped? Oh, did you? Well, if you're going to clip it, I'll sing it better. I'll sing it better than that. Hold on. I could actually, if I wanted to, because I think currently Google's not running through StreamYard. I'll do it a little later. I'm right in the middle of something right now. Kind of. Creators of the show indicated that each show has an underlying theme, which is the preservation of wildlife. Yeah, that Terry Nee and his shenanigans. He's quite a wiseacre, folks. I already told you where the show was shot. Now, between 9 and 15 kangaroos were used for each show. The apparent amazing, unbelievable, supernatural manual dexterity of Skippy was used by attaching separate arms in the hands of human operators. So they each have an arm, and Skippy's trademark, he made this noise, okay? Totally fictional. Kangaroos don't make that noise. It was a weird noise. There, Terry, did you clip that? Kangaroos don't make that sound, but they needed some kind of sound to indicate that Skippy was communicating with them. And I would point out, although kangaroos don't make those, Skippy the Bush Kangaroo might, because he is a superhuman bush kangaroo who came to us from the planet Krypton. However, because of the popularity of the series, to this day, people believe in Australia that, and I suppose a few here in the United States, believe that kangaroos make those noises. To make Skippy move her mouth, to supposedly create these vocalizations, which, you know, were kind of like Lassie. Lassie would bark 3 times, and they'd say, "You're right, Lassie. We should see if Timmy's down the old well." That whole Megillah. The production staff would give the kangaroos chocolate, chewing gum, or grass, or in some cases they would put an elastic band around their lower jaw that they would then try to remove. And that's how the show involved a lot of animals. Let me give you another picture to look at here. Oh, I already did that one. Let's do this one. Well, there was a lot of helicopter action in this show. A lot of helicopter action. There was tons of animals used in this show, not just Skippy the Bush Kangaroo. Dingoes, possums, emus, koalas, all trained and managed by Scotty Denholm, a former New South Wales police dog trainer. There supposedly was only one theory, but all these other stand-ins were used. And Scotty would say, like people, some kangaroos are brighter than others. And that was actually said by producer Dennis Hill. Yeah. Nevertheless, there are limits to what a kangaroo can do, which sounds like a lyric from the theme song. It's not. Many times the actors can be, and I even noticed this when I was a kid watching this show, kangaroos standing there and the person on camera is seen like hurting it a little bit with its hand, patting it to get it to move out of frame with them. They use these things, and I don't know if you've seen them, that we have similar stuff here in the United States. I've seen alligator ones and stuff, but it's basically the paw of a kangaroo, right? But it's got a bottle opener underneath the paw. So it's like this long, and then it looks like the paw is opening. Okay, they actually use those kangaroo paw bottle openers on the show. All right. Those were used for close-ups of Skippy opening a door or picking something up. Many times a stuffed kangaroo was used to, do shots of Skippy from behind, or when Skippy was required to hop into a confined space like this helicopter here. Yeah. But and they made a feature film. I would talk about it, but it's basically a movie-length episode of the regular stuff. So, but people loved it. People really loved it. And here's another. This is from the same scene of them trying to get out, I think. What was the name of this? I can't remember the name of this episode. Oh, wait, here it is. Well, no, I don't remember the name. Let me see here. Do they not know that kangaroos are reusable? I don't know if they're reusable. I know they're recyclable. Was Skippy a pilot? No, Skippy never piloted the helicopter. He had Jerry King for that. The good-looking 20s-ish. Yeah. Skippy the Bush Kangaroo was the very first series in Australia to be heavily merchandised, okay? Right? And the Skippy Club, by the way, like, share, subscribe, retweet, notification bell. Please do all those free things that can help us spread the show. We're being throttled for some reason right now on YouTube. Not as many people are seeing the show in their feed. So if you can do those things, it'll help us out with the algorithm, the almighty, all-powerful algorithm. That would help. We have memberships. We have super chats. We have the TomGulleyShow.com where you can get to our merchandise store. And then, of course, there is PayPal. Oh, mama, we love it when you PayPal. Because that way, you give the most, I get the most. YouTube doesn't take any of it. Anyway, as I was saying, Skippy was the first TV series in Australia to be heavily merchandised. The Skippy Club, which you could join, had over 67,000 members. In Japan, they sold 8mm films, color films of Skippy. In Australia and many overseas countries, you could buy Skippy pajamas, ice cream, toys, jewelry, soap, comics, jelly beans, rulers, pencils, puzzles, toothpaste, shampoo, T-shirts, towels, and yes, soft drinks. The Commercial Baking Company in Australia had Skippy money boxes, the contents of which could be banked with the details entered into a Skippy passbook. Did I say baking company? I meant banking company. There were LP records, an all-adventure story narrated by John McCallum, the creator of the series and an actor himself, and several books. And in 2009, you could still buy Skippy cornflakes. The popularity of Skippy was summed up by Fauna Productions marketing and merchandising manager Kevin Gleason. Skippy is a clean, non-violent, fun show with no sex. It's wholesome, family-type entertainment. Most importantly, any necessary violence is innocuous and insignificant, with old Skippy coming to the rescue at the end of each episode. Well then, how's about that? By the way, I've pinned the link at the top of this show for anyone who'd like to pop on. Well, not anyone. Certain people we won't let on. I think you know who they are, and I know they know who they are. Now, Skippy won a number of awards, many of which were for best show that was syndicated from another country, because Skippy was very, very popular in overseas. Julian Caesar say kangaroos hopping high around helicopters necessitated multiple replacement stars, but provided a delicious kangaroo meat lunch for the production staff. That's funny. All three series, meaning seasons, in other countries they call a season a series, of Skippy, plus the movie The Intruders, have been released on DVD. The series sold around the world, reportedly shown in 128 countries. Is Terry Nee still here? Because I'm going to sing the song again in a second. It is still being shown in some countries over 50 years after its original production. And Lee Robinson, one of the creators, says the series only recovered its costs 6 years later in 1976. Julian Caesar is a new member. Thank you, Julian. Thank you so much. A little hand for Julian Caesar. Can we get a little love, some flowers for Julian Caesar, please? That would be great. Thank you. Julian's one of our most astute observers. Yes. Let's see here. The series was repeated several times by the Nine Network in Australia. And in 2009, they gave it a rebirth, airing it in the graveyard slot in the early hours of morning. And then they started showing it at 6:30 a.m. for the kids. Yeah, a little applause for Julian Caesar there. That's well challenged. Internationally, it is among the most popular of exported programs of all time. Skippy was broadcast in all Commonwealth countries, including Canada, where it was adapted in Quebec for standard French. Skippy le Kangaroo. Captain Stonecrab says it was Flipper with legs, and he's kind of true. That's kind of right, like I was saying earlier, for those of you who are here. XL After Dark said, Skippy and Flipper were two of my favorite shows. Thanks for a wonderful reminder of a show I'd nearly forgotten. I was watching from Ottawa, Canada. Well, welcome to our Canuck friends across the border. And XL After Dark, I must confess having the same sensation. I was on YouTube and I was looking up television themes of different kinds because I'm into that kind of thing. And the theme for Skippy the Bush Kangaroo came up. Is Terry Nee still here? And then the famous Skippy, Skippy, Skippy the Bush Kangaroo. Skippy, 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 a friend ever true. And the song and the whole thing. It's a great song. It's a great song. Yeah. It made its debut in the United Kingdom in October of 1967 on ATV, actually 4 months before it was released in its native Australia. It rivaled Doctor Who and The Avengers in terms of popularity in Britain's TV Comic. And TV Comic, which is a weekly comic book. So the Skippy comic book rivaled those two. Skippy was broadcast in Mexico, where it was dubbed into Spanish and known as Skippy el Kangaroo. And it has been seen in most Spanish-speaking countries, including Cuba and Spain, where it became very popular. In Latin America, the show was broadcast on free TV in the 70s, on pay TV via Sundance Channel in Latin America. In the Netherlands, Skippy was first broadcast between 1969 and 1972. In Germany, it was known as Skippy the Bush Kangaroo, while in Italy, it was known as Skippy il Kangaroo. The show was popular in Scandinavia, and in Norway, a chain of shopping centers were named in honor of Skippy the Bush Kangaroo. You think I just made this up, and you think I'm just doing this show about some weird thing. No, it was very, 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 very popular. It was syndicated in the United States during the late 1960s, and it was frequently scheduled on weekends with other children's programs. When I saw it, it wasn't the late 60s. It would have been the mid-70s. And it wasn't on weekends. It was during the week at the same time every day. I think it might have been Channel 9. It might have been Channel 44, both of those out of Chicago. The series was revived in a very short-lived manner, The Adventures of Skippy, in 1992. And it was focusing on the now adult Sonny, who would have been in his 40s, for crying out loud. And he followed in his father's footsteps and became park ranger, now had his own family and a pet kangaroo named Skippy. That version aired on Animal Planet in 1997 and on TBN's Smile of a Child Children's Network until 2019. They made 39 episodes. Yes, they did. The chef is in the house. He's actually a chef. He's a real chef. He chefs things. And he's here, live from Indianapolis, Indiana. Nice to see you, Chef. We always love it when the chef's here. Like, share, subscribe, retweet, notification bell, all the free things you can do to help us out. We have memberships. We have super chats. We have a merchandise store at thetomgullyshow.com, and also PayPal. And PayPal is where you give the most and I get the most. YouTube don't take none of it. And I love you forever. Any good kangaroo recipes, Chef? He'll have one. He's great with pizza. That's a layup. Anyway. In 1998, an animated spin-off series was produced known as Skippy, Adventures in Bushtown. Featured a version of Skippy where Skippy was a male, not a female, working as a park ranger. Skippy himself was a park ranger, which I think was long overdue. 1999, Skippy starred in advertisements for the chocolate confectionery Rolo cookies. In 2006, actor Tony Bonner sued the production company seeking residuals from merchandising and DVD sales from the series. Daggone it, Tony. What'd you have to do that for? Skippy wouldn't approve of that. In 2009, a documentary, Skippy, Australia's first superstar, was broadcast on the ABC network in Australia and the BBC in the UK. The documentary was produced by Western Australian-based documentary production company Electric Pictures. I am going to search for that immediately following the show. The original series was parodied, in a recurring sketch as part of the British comedy series Goodness Gracious Me under the title Skipinder the Punjabi Kangaroo. The parody redubbed scenes from the original Skippy. And it was also parodied in the 1989 to 1992 Australian sketch comedy show Fast Forward. You, my good people, You, my good people, can get 39 episodes on DVD that were released in December of 2003 on 3 discs. Another 4 episodes are available on 1 disc that was released in 2005. To my knowledge, the complete series was issued in April of 2018, but it only has 39 episodes. The actual series had 91. Captain Stonecrabs, I'll swap you for a manatee burger. I haven't had manatee burgers. When I lived in Tampa and in Naples, my God, they'd put anything, any stone crab burger. That's not a burger. Interestingly, in Australia, they call it what we call here a chicken sandwich. They call it a chicken burger, which is just outrageous if you ask me. And I think it's wrong. Very wrong. The link is up at the top of the chat on YouTube if you'd care to join us. And isn't it like an Australian? Our good friend Scott, who whenever he comes on here claims to be the producer of the show, is not here to talk about an Australian icon. I even messaged him in Discord. You know, it's disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. That's about all I have to tell you about the legendary Australian television series Skippy the Bush Kangaroo. Yes, that's it. That's the whole shooting match. Now we have 23 minutes to kill to see what's going on. Oh, the lovely and talented... Well, hold on here. Send Skippy to check for the wells for Scott. Scott was normally caught in a much more dangerous place. Mine shaft for Scott, probably. Roller skater Texas girl who is just incredible and a fellow person that lives where I live, area type individual. Everyone's happy to see roller skater Texas girl. Man, oh man, is she a very fine supporter of this show. Like, share, subscribe, retweet, notification bell. Help us beat the throttling that we're undergoing currently from YouTube or Google or somebody. Not nearly as many impressions as we used to get. And we do have memberships. We do have super chats. We do have the merchandise store with all of our stuff. You can get there by going to the TomGulleyShow.com. And there's a description underneath this show that's got a link, I think, directly to the merchandise store. In addition, you can use the PayPal, which would be nice. We would love it if you would use the PayPal, because then you give the entire amount. And YouTube ain't involved. YouTube is not acting like a digital pimp, taking 30% of the money. Oh, there's roller skater Texas girl. Thanks so much, Tom. It's always a pleasure. It is always a pleasure. That is for certain. Let me see here. I suppose since I have a little time, I could actually look for the download of Roller Skater Texas Girl. A flying backwards down the street. Incidentally, on Monday, this TV program on the internet will feature the subject of Bob Ross, Happy Little Trees, from The Joy of Painting. And then on... let's see here. I'm trying to find that vid. And it's way back, long way time ago. I should have it in an easier to locate Spot probably, but on Tuesday, our subject will be the Ludovico technique. And on Wednesday, oh, there it is. On Wednesday, recreational vehicles. Yes. Daggone it. I had it and I lost it. Come on now. Come on now. Be good to me, Daddy. All right, let me see. Which one is it? Now I can't. Now I don't know which one it is. Poop. I'm just going to guess that it's this one. Oh, wait. I'm going to guess that it's this one. Oh, for crying out loud. There's no way it's going to go back to the actual spot either because it's StreamYard. Let's see here. Is that actually Scott? Yeah, see, naturally it doesn't go back to where I was at. I got to go all the way back and find it. StreamYard. Oh, well, there it was. I found it again. All right, let's try this one. Boom shakalaka. Let's try that one, StreamYard. Yep, that's it. That is it. That is Roller Skater Texas Girl right there. Look at that. I am telling you what, we'll be watching that again. Let's get it from the top, shall we? Skating backwards faster than any of us can skate forwards. There she comes around the corner. And then look at that slide. That's got to be a 40-foot slide. We're watching that again. Scott Green, why have you not? The link is at the top of the page, Scott Green. Alleged producer of the show who just got here. That's your roller skater Texas girl. She is spectacular. And that's pretty awesome. Is all I got to say. Let's see here. We have got some comments. Hey, Tom. Hello, Chris. Good to see you, Chris. Always nice to have you here. Chris is being greeted with warm H2BHs and things. People saying hi. People saying hi. Action-packed show, Tom. Thanks, Scott. Chef says, hey, Tom, I have to make soup tomorrow. I need suggestions. Make a sandwich instead. My only soups that I like are as follows. Ready? Tomato bisque, French onion, beer cheese. That's it. And those under protest. People saying hi. Let's see. Scott says, sorry, Tom, I couldn't be here for the whole show. I had to address the Australian Parliament. Did you address them about the United States defeating Australia 2-1? Are you wearing clothes? 2-1. Let's see here. Scont. Yes, people are calling for Scont. He's here. I'm going to put him on as soon as I get these comments finished. Chris, and I wasn't even full speed on that. I'll redo it and send it to. Well, please do. It'll be great. Happy to be here. Crappy at Life is here. And then please send full speed videos, says Doopa-Doopa-Doo. Chris says, roller skater Texas girl, you friggin' rule. Yeah, no fake. And now, without further ado, here he is, late for the show, obviously draped in shame from Australia's 2-1 loss to the United States in men's national team soccer, and probably knowing nothing about our topic tonight, Skippy the Bush Kangaroo. He's got the title of the producer, but we've all discussed this earlier. He's clearly not the producer.
What's going on, Tom? Can you hear me all right? I'm on the laptops, technology and all.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah,
it doesn't look like your house.
No, I'm currently in between houses. I'm in temporary accommodation because I've been elected to the Prime Minister of Australia, so I've had to move to Canberra.
Wow,
And
I would think that many people who have joined Parliament could find a comb.
this is the new hairstyle. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know.
Did you ever watch Skippy the Bush Kangaroo?
I'm not that old. I remember it being on television. You turn on the television at at an early hour on a Saturday, and that's like the only thing that they play. And it's I never watched Lassie, but I'd imagine it's our version of Lassie.
Well, I would say you're probably right, except for usually the Australian version of something is much worse than the American version. And in this case,
But in this instance,
I think Skippy the Bush Kangaroo is actually better than Lassie. Made more sense. Roller Gator, Sister Gator, Cat's Girl says she's a bit nuts. You got to be. I don't even know what that means. It's probably Canadian. Scott produces. How many broken bones in your lifetime? Roller skater, Texas girl.
I've got an issue with that roller skate video. I don't think it's as fast as what you think. You, as a man that has done a lot of television and broadcast and stuff like that, you would know that there's a frequency difference between a lot of different parts. And I think that was actually recorded in 50 hertz, and you're watching it in 60 hertz, and that's why it looks faster. I was watching it in 50 hertz, so it looked normal speed to me.
Well, that's one theory. My theory would be that you're just naturally slower.
Mm-hmm.
But
I see the world. I see the world slower, so I'd have more opportunity to react to things.
Right.
But you all see me at normal speed. So.
Right. I know. So nice try, Scott. Not true. She's skating backwards, dude.
It's easier to skate backwards than skate forwards.
I thought you would know a lot about Skippy the Bush Kangaroo.
Oh, look, I know, again, he's just, a horse fell down a well, and then Skippy goes to run for help her. Skippy's non-gender.
No. Skippy is very clearly gendered a female.
Didn't they use like a million different kangaroos for it?
Female kangaroos, yes.
Didn't they?
You don't even know things about Australia. I thought you would be, because you're always, Australia invented the pencil eraser and, all that.
Texas is at 15 hertz. See, there we go. We're saying Texas is at 15 hertz. That's why it looks faster to all the rest of us. It is.
Yeah, we have NASA. We have NASA, but we're at 15 hertz. Get real. Okay, Scott, what does Skippy mean to the previous generation, like your parents?
Probably a whole lot. I mean, I'd imagine that they all gathered around the television and that was like the highlight of their week, in between fucking digging up coal and pushing out babies.
Language. As of 2009, you could still buy Skippy cornflakes, dude.
Yeah.
Texas roller skater Texas girl says backwards is definitely easier than forwards. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Doopa wants to see a video of Scott skating backwards.
I would do that, but I'd have to get the Australian Federal Police to skate along with me, as I'm now the Prime Minister. So.
Yes, and as such, I'd like to ask you a question about being Australian.
Australia's Prime Minister, thank you very much.
What did you think about your national team's loss to the United States on Tuesday night?
Look, it was a national shame. Scott only on the show to add context as an Australian for Skippy Law. Yes, that is basically all I'm here to do. Tom messaged me like 2 hours ago and asked me to be on the show. And
I didn't ask you.
Yes, you did. You asked me to be on the show.
I said tonight's show will be about Skippy the Bush Kangaroo. There was no ask in there.
I would thoroughly like you to be on the show.
Nah, that part wasn't there. But I won't deny that I did hope you would join in, because I thought you would know something about Skippy the Bush Kangaroo.
Nobody
One of
gives
the
a shit
most.
about
You're crazy about Wallace and Gromit. Did you know Skippy the Bush Kangaroo is seen in 128 countries?
Yeah, because the language is not a barrier. Nobody needs to know what he's saying.
Well, not
Is it
him.
translated?
Not
Probably
Yes,
not.
yes, it is. It is translated in most of those countries.
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
But
No, look, I mean, yeah, Skippy the Bush Kangaroo. I think it's a tale that just crosses boundaries. I guess someone gets stuck down a
whoa,
well. A
easy now.
kangaroo just a
Crosses
kangaroo
boundaries.
just
What do you
doesn't.
mean by that, dude? I didn't get that from it at all. I don't know what you're watching.
It crosses boundaries across time and space and
See, here's
cultures.
somebody
You
that
know.
voted for you
Thank you.
right there.
You know what?
Oh, I
Even
know
though
what I was.
I
I was.
represent those that didn't even vote for me, actually, Tom.
I
So
would ask you a question. What do they call the people? Because I know you had to leave your stately manor to become prime minister. What do they call the people that arrive to box up and take away all your possessions?
oh, the removalists. That's the removalists.
Hey, folks,
That's
that
for
is
you.
not.
That's for you.
This is not a bit. This is not a joke. In Australia, the movers who come to take away your property when you're moving are called the removalists.
Yeah, it's like a Jason. What is it? Jason Stratham. He's like he turns up in a black limousine and starts shooting people to remove all the
That's the
furniture.
transporter.
Yeah, it's the same thing as a removalist. Yeah.
Canada had the littlest hobo. He was a German shepherd that saved people. He parachuted one time and rescued a dude in a remote cabin that brought him medicine. But did he play drums in a band like Skippy did?
Every country has had their version of Skippy or Lassie or the littlest hobo is a crazy name for a
Flipper. We had Flipper here too.
That's right,
It
Flipper.
was a
Yeah.
dolphin. We have about 7 minutes left. What are your main initiatives as Prime Minister of Australia, other than, of course, a comb?
Well, my main initiatives is I think that the whole world should be able to vote for the Prime Minister of Australia, right? I don't think restricting the vote to Australian citizens is a prudent move, and so I've opened up the vote to the whole world to vote for the Australian Prime Minister, and that's what got me voted. That's basically it. And actually, in Australia, you might not know this, Tom. You're not well versed in Australian politics, but it is mandatory to vote in Australia. And opening the vote up to the whole world means it is mandatory now for the whole world to vote for the Australian Prime Minister. So
Do you think
receive your
that there'll be
$25
a?
fine.
Do you find that there'll be a barrier because most people don't care about Australia across the world?
And most people don't care about who the Prime Minister in Australia is either. So
Can anyone in the chat tell us who the Prime Minister of Australia is?
don't Google it. Don't
Google it, but can just say yes or no. We don't need his name because I guarantee you the answer is no. Although I also guarantee you that the answer will be like the most generic name possible. It'll be Bill Smith or
absolutely. It always
Joe
is.
White or something like that.
The interesting thing is to me is that since the most recent election, where actually everybody does know the answer, it's me. What are you talking about?
And your name is
Scott. So
Scott Green.
Yeah.
It's not Scott Waholowitz. It's Scott Green, another generic name.
Yeah,
Does it start with an A?
it does start with an A.
Okay.
What do you call it? What was my train of thought? My train of thought was the opposition leader. So like the leader of the opposition in our country. I don't think anyone could name who that is in Australia. Nobody knows who that is at the moment. It's so irrelevant and such a non person that they just don't even know who it is.
What are the other things that you're going to do? Is that it? Is there other things? Are you
Yeah.
gonna get the Parliament to come up with another name for the removalists?
No, I think that's pretty much it. I'm a non. I'm not a big one for getting involved in people's lives. I think they should just be able to do what they want to do. To be honest, let the whole world celebrate Australia Day. That's probably about it.
Well, we
I'm just
celebrated it here.
Yeah, yeah. I'm all about. I'm actually a globalist, but a global Australianist. I don't know if that's a. If
You
that's
don't
ever
have
been
anything like you're going to make Hungry Jack just go ahead, break down, and call itself Burger King?
No, we couldn't do that. That would be un-Australian.
Ladies and gentlemen, they have Burger King in Australia, but they call it Hungry Jack. And the logo looks almost the exact same, only different words. It's just wrong.
What the reason the reason why they did that?
Because somebody already had Burger King over there.
That's right. Yeah. How do I celebrate Australia?
You're the Prime Minister. You could say you're now Hungry Jack, and these people are Burger King. You're the Prime
Why
Minister.
would I let the American invaders choose the more, the better name?
Invaders. We don't invade. You guys want that stuff. How do you celebrate Australia Day? Well, he celebrates it right
The
here.
most recent Australia Day is I celebrated it with Tom. Obviously with Tom. Yeah. So I don't know if that's celebrating or
they call it a chicken sandwich, a chicken burger. It's in fact, I feel like I'm probably the most Australian American in this entire because this year, did I not watch your Super Bowl, the grand final, with you?
You did.
Did I not?
It was a terrible game. I mean, it had a great first half, but the second half was
It was tied at the end of the first half, 42-42, and in the second half, Brisbane just destroyed Geelong. It ended up, what was it? Ended up like 100 and something to 54, or it was just
basically Geelong went home in the second half.
Yes.
The skipper of Geelong, he had to go and do a toilet break in the first 5 minutes. That was fun.
Yeah, that was Dame Edna, the most famous Australian.
I wouldn't say she's the most famous. He's the most famous Australian.
Is he even alive anymore? I think that.
No, he recently died.
I think that Russell Crowe would probably at a certain time. Nicole Kidman.
I would say people like what's his name? Fucking, I'm terrible with names. The Crocodile Hunter. Crocodile Hunter would have been up there.
Not anymore.
No.
Bindi isn't even famous over here. I sent you a clip of Canada Skippy at the Tom Gulley Show in Discord. He was much more of a hero from what I have discovered in my internet investigation. Olivia Newton-John, AC/DC. Yeah, these are good people. Olivia Newton-John, of course, no longer with us. AC/DC, they're pretty awesome, but they're older than I am. But Russell Crowe, Nicole Kidman was once quite. Keith Urban, I guess they're split up now, but Keith Urban, the legendary country singer. Mel Gibson, yes.
The Worthingtons, like Sam Worthington and stuff,
Not so much.
Rupert Murdoch, the guy that runs like all of media.
All of media. Let's see. Gilman says, "Hey, Gullerinos." Thank you, Gilman, for using my favorite of the terms that I didn't come up with. So nothing else you're going to do as Prime Minister? Nothing? Not even?
No. I might kill Kate Blanchett. That might be fun.
Is she Australian?
She is Australian. Yeah.
I did not know that. I thought she was British. People saying hi to Gilman. Whoa, it says here that kangaroos are very untrustworthy compared to German shepherds. Are you going to start every one of your speeches with, listen?
What are some of his other sayings? Cool.
Cool.
Up the bum.
He also says, this is a show called Aussie LC. He also says, he repeats things a lot. He'll be going, so you're going to the store?
Yeah.
But he's cool. Scott could just make up a happy story about Skippy to fill some time.
You added the happy bit. What did you make the happy bit?
I did add the happy. Maybe Scott could just make up a story about Skippy to fill some time. Well, I just assumed it would be happy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, look, I don't know. You know what's interesting about Canberra, the capital of Australia, the capital city of Australia?
Nothing.
Nobody ever realizes the capital.
Nothing at all.
Nothing is interesting except for the fact that there's fucking roadkill everywhere.
Easy.
There's dead kangaroos every 500 meters. They're just
Really?
everywhere. Yeah, because Canberra is in the middle of like a high country. Like there's lots of hillside around, and there's waterfalls and lakes and all that kind of stuff. It's a very high altitude, and so there's kangaroos grazing everywhere. There's emus that just run around. It's all that kind of stuff, and then they just run out in the middle of the road early in the morning, and people hit them.
Now, you know that I have been to Australia.
You've not been to Canberra, though. I checked.
No, I have not. I did not go there. I went to Sydney, and I went to Melbourne, and I went to Perth.
Yeah.
And I have two very, very, very close friends that live in Perth.
Mm.
Yes.
Why do you wish you had emus, I guess, in America? Aren't they just like a more rough version of ostriches?
I'll let Julian answer that. Let's see. Chris says, whatever that means, that damn kangaroo would have killed that dog if he wasn't wearing his little roo protection harness. Do the kangaroos go after things?
Absolutely. They get very, very aggressive.
Well,
especially to dogs and stuff like that. Yeah.
There's areas where, like in Perth, where one of my friends lives, there's like wild kangaroos all over the place. She walks down the street and there's like open fields and stuff, and they're quite.
Look, I mean, if they're smaller than you, it's just like a dog, right? If you get a tiny little dog, I mean, it can get aggressive, but it's not going to be able to do anything to you. But then you face off a 7-foot tall kangaroo that is balancing on its on its tail.
Well, in Skippy there, as you can see, Skippy was pretty small. Let me put him back up there for a second. Skippy was pretty small. Come on, you piece of junk. Skippy was pretty small.
Yeah. What do you mean emus are smaller and less aggressive? I can't imagine how big ostriches are if they're bigger than emus. But emus are fucking massive.
Ooh, really scared text goes, kangaroo will beat your ass.
That's true.
Well, it's awful to hear that. Emus are smaller and less aggressive. Yeah. Well, that's pretty much all the time we have, Scott. I was hoping you'd be here sooner. By the way, for those of you who are not aware, we do have, let me just pull it up here. Oh, I got to get rid of a Skippy picture if I'm going to do this. Remove from studio. For those of you who are not aware, we do have an entire line of, I think it's on my desktop here somewhere. Yep, there it is. We have an entire line of skant apparel and other things. Look, there he is, right there. Doesn't that look like Scott? And I'm assuming they used that in your election campaign.
That was, yeah. Red over here is the currently elected party, so that makes sense. Yeah, it all lines up.
So if you go to the TomGulleyShow.com, there's links and stuff to the Cafe Press merch store. Man, you can get it on mugs, candles, bath mats, you name it, anything that you
female underwear. Yeah.
Yes, actually, you can get it in ladies' underwear.
And it's been selling well. I'm hearing, Tom. I've been hearing
it's okay. Let's not go crazy. Scott really adequate.
I contacted Cafe Press and they said that it outsold the Tom Gulley merch 2-1. So
first of all, it does not outsell the Tom Gulley merch. That is a nice spike when we released it, like you might imagine, but it doesn't really outsell the Tom. They're pretty much neck and neck right now. LOL, Chris.
Bring up a picture of Roger the kangaroo. Look at that kangaroo.
Look at this. Scott really added a lot. Quite the Skippy expert. No,
Yeah.
LOL, Chris.
Tom, bring up the picture of Roger the kangaroo that I put in there. You've seen this picture. Everyone's seen the picture.
I don't want to bring up that picture. Thank you.
Why did you just bring up Roger the kangaroo?
I don't think much of him. I think he's doing something that many animals do.
But he look. No, he's not. He's not masturbating or anything.
Okay, if you say so.
He's not. He's not
masturbating.
I promise you, he's not masturbating, Tom.
He's
not. He just looks buff. He's like doing a a flex.
Oh God, you are so.
There we go. Look at that. Look at that beast. That would destroy you, Tom.
Really?
Oh, absolutely.
How do you figure? How do you figure that? I have guns. I have guns.
That's not going to do anything, Tom. It bounces on its back leg, and then.
What are you dressing up for as Halloween, Scott?
I'm going to dress up as Tom Gulley.
Oh, okay. Frankenstein then. Fan of Foster's beer in the big can? Asked Gilman.
I've never drunk Foster's beer.
Foster's over there is not.
You can't even get it.
Yeah,
I don't even know where I would get it.
It's not as. It's kind of an over here thing. Is laughing. Look at that Kang. He would R-word any of us. Ooh, hey now. Hell yeah. I'm going as Roger
Roger the kangaroo. I think you should bring Roger the kangaroo back up.
Kangaroo. Well, we got to do what the fans want. Well, like, share, subscribe, retweet, notification bell. Please, it's free. You don't have to do anything. And we're being throttled
Look at the veins popping out.
We're being throttled by Google and YouTube right now for reasons I don't know. So help us out that way.
It does look like he's masturbating, though, Tom.
We got memberships, we've got super chats, and then PayPal. Please PayPal. That way YouTube doesn't get any of it.
So send you money.
It's just if you super chat, YouTube gets part of it.
Right.
If you
so you just want people to send you cash, just cold hard cash.
Well, if they want.
Well,
people have.
Do they get out of it? What do they get out of it?
They support the show. They get more shows.
I think you should just be keeping doing the shows for the love of the game.
Right. It's really, you know what it is, Scott, and you'll appreciate this. For Faith and Family and Scotterland, he beat the shizzle out of Sylvester the cat. Yeah, we're taking him down now. So you'll appreciate this. The real reason is Mersh makes more in a night than I make in a month. That's the reason.
That is a crying shame.
It is demoralizing and depressing.
But why don't you start doing what he does? Why don't you just start doing the Mersh show?
I can't. I have to live with myself. Let's see.
Just start commenting on political crap that you don't understand and playing, dudes going to universities and
this one time I'm with some chicks. We're hanging out. It's kind of cool, and I noticed they're having an election, and elections are. Just not as cool as they used to be. I remember we used to hang out with some of my homies, and we'd be all having a few coldies and maybe smoking some bud, and we'd go and vote, and it was hip. But now it's just kind of a poser thing. Yeah, I could do a Mersh show.
Yeah, just do a Mersh episode, man. Start doing weed all the time. Start drinking beer all the time.
No, I don't drink. I can't.
That's what the people want to see.
I think the people want to see me get a new computer.
That is genuinely true.
I got to update or I'm just going to advertise it as Max Headroom. It's weird because it didn't do this when I was on OBS back in Utah. Yeah. I've been trying to figure out why it's doing this. I think it's because I have to do this thing with my camera now. back when I was in Utah, I had a desk that was, the camera was much farther away. And so this camera, I have to zoom in. It's I have to do a thing with some software. I think that's what the problem is.
I mean, I'm just using the shittiest computer. Well, I mean, not the shittiest computer. It's fine, but you know,
that does not befit the Prime Minister of Australia. And I love it that you're in like a hotel, like a motel, like an executive whatever, because I can see that horrible painting there that they've got in there. It's like
it's a llama. There you go. There's a llama.
Why even have it? It's the size of like a piece of paper. You might as well not even have it. But you're moving quite a distance from your work. Was it difficult to move from the spot how long were you in the spot that you were at before you moved?
Been in that house. I've moved out. So I moved into the house that me and my kid's mum built. But the house that I was living in was the house that I bought when I first moved out of home. So I've been in that house for about 15 years or so.
Whoa, it had to be hard to do that. Now you're keeping that one and Airbnb-ing it or something, and then
renting it out. Yep. So it's in the process of being tidied up and rented out. So yeah,
so then now you're like, is it 13 hours away?
By driving, it'd be about 13 hours drive. Yep.
Yeah, and you're going to be there for 2 or 3 years, right?
Yeah, so minimum 2 years I have to be, because that's that's the earliest that I can get voted out. So I've got to be here for
Tom Wave Radio, very funny. Yeah. Scott's the only Australian I'd ever vote for.
Because I'd not get anything done. I'm just there to kiss the babies. That's the only thing I want to be doing.
Easy. 13 hours is only 5 Australian hours. And we actually haven't, well, wait a minute. We did get somebody becoming a new member today. But other than that, Bupkis.
I'm a member. I'm a paying member now.
Bupkis, are you really?
I really am.
I can check on that.
You can check on it.
All right. Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, look, I'll chat in the thing, and you'll be able to see the little thing next to my name that says I'm a paying member.
I think somebody gifted you a paying membership, is what I think happened. In fact, I know that's what happened because I looked at it the other day.
See, it says paying member.
Well, then by all means, it says it in the chat. It's got to be true.
Chat doesn't lie, man.
Anyway, all right. Well,
I actually do have to be heading off to hit the old Parliament House. One day you should have a look at Parliament House in Australia, Tom. It's a very interesting building. It's built into a hill. It's built into a hill.
Is that the actual, like what we would call, the Capitol?
White House.
The Capitol?
Well, yeah, the Capitol Hill. Yeah.
Okay. That might just be a topic next week.
It's built into the hill. I'm only about around the corner from it, 5 minutes drive.
So that's in Canberra.
It is in Canberra. Yes.
Oh, so you had to move to the capital.
I've moved to the capital. Like I said, I'm the Prime Minister now. I had to move to the capital.
Vote Scott now. The election's apparently over. So anyway,
well thanks because I won the election. So that's
right. Of course you did. Of course you did.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna maybe do. Let's see. Monday night we do Bob Ross from The Joy of Painting. Tuesday, the Ludovico technique, as suggested by Jesse P.S., now known as Jesse V. Hey, did you notice? Did you know
Bob Ross? You need to find the AI video that they did of Bob Ross doing his what was it called? It's like his WWE entry sequence as Bob Ross.
I see.
Did you see that?
Yeah. I once saw Scott lift a whole bus full of people to save a baby.
Mm-hmm.
And
then I kissed the baby. Yeah.
Tuesday's show, the Ludovico technique, has been suggested by Jesse X, formerly known as Jesse PS. And I was just going to ask you, have you noticed what a generational run he has been on?
I couldn't notice it. Couldn't not notice it. I couldn't not notice it. It was crazy.
So that's not going to get
multi-generational run. You know,
it's a generational run like no other.
Is it a generational run or is it a multi-generational run?
It's up for debate whether it's multi-generational, but I know for a fact that it's generational. I also know it's not going to be clipped now because you screwed it up at first.
Multi-generational run.
P.S. was his slave name. Life, a run for the generations. That's probably a better way of putting it. Yes, it's a multi-generational run. But anyway, future generations will celebrate this man. Well, that's like I was just told that school children will watch this show in 2025. Albania bunkers, over or underrated? I'm going to call them underrated.
I'm going to ship them.
How are you going to ship them?
No, ship. What do the kids say? Ship or?
Oh, use ship. Okay. Normally people say ship, like between two people on a show that are dating.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So it's like I'm trying to think of a show that's on right now that's popular that people. Oh, I ship Ted Lasso and Rebecca.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go.
Doopa said, Gilman, I enjoyed Overrated, Underrated. Well, we can bring it back, but I noticed, and maybe it was because it was always on Friday, that show didn't get anybody watching it, really. Scott, are you going to throw that alcoholic Ranbot in Australian prison?
Australian prison is such a redundant term,
Yeah, he started off as a penal colony. Do you feel like that's why you're so penal?
Yeah.
If some have called you a penal head?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't you hate the fact that I don't have any gray hairs? 45 and no gray hairs, Tom. How is that possible?
Because you're not 45.
How old am I then, Tom?
I'm not going to say because I don't want to dox you.
You're really worried about doxing these days.
You're 38 years of age. Ranbot,
Still.
Ralph Duty, get him, Scott? You said penal. Well, look at my hair. I'm not that gray for as old as I am.
You're very gray. You're very gray.
Look at that. You're not that gray. For as old as I am? Are you kidding me? I don't care. Old.
You care.
You actually probably know, but I'm very old. Hey, Gilman with the 99-cent Stupor sticker. Thank you, Gilman. I appreciate that very much.
How much of that do you get to keep? 60 cents of it?
70, 69, maybe.
Is that enough to go buy a McDonald's soft serve or something?
No, it's not. I can't see any grays. Tom is just like, no, there's gray there, kind of. I don't know, but not very much. Tom, you don't look a day over 36. Thank you.
Tom, man to man, when do you start getting grays in your pubes?
Ask your mom.
She doesn't have any pubes.
Oh, I thought you meant when do I?
I mean, that's what I said, man to man.
I don't do a lot of looking around down yonder. You could just Google that. I'm probably different for everybody. I do a lot of manscaping, so I never really get a lot of chance to say, oh, yeah. I live in Texas, dude.
What is that? What's the issue with pubes in Texas?
Well, you don't want to swamp down there. It gets pretty hot here. Hi, Tom. Who's this bogan on your show?
Who's the bogan on your show, Tom? It's the producer.
I think it's you.
I've been producing the show, Tom, this whole time.
Well, you've been doing a terrible job because look at our numbers. Great
well,
job.
I would say it's the talents problem. I think if we replace Tom on the Tom Gulley Show, we might have a better shot at things.
I'm not necessarily disagreeing with that.
I genuinely was, when you weren't doing shows for a whole time, I was going to start doing the Tom Gulley Show, and I was even going to use your intro, and I was going to use every bit of it, and then I just couldn't be bothered.
Well,
would that make you mad if I did that?
I don't know. I'm probably not. I probably wouldn't. I'm probably
Like
a little too
what you could do
apathetic.
is you could just share. Like if you want me to do one of your episodes every month or something, you just
I
share
don't,
me the StreamYard
I don't want that.
link and I'll host it.
I just found out Tom was back the other night. That's why you got to be a member and a subscriber, as you get the notifications. Although they do a terrible job of that. But
So you can see Tom's member.
did you hear about the big fight I had with Don Giller?
I did not.
Oh, well, you'll have to ask about it. So let's see. Thanks, Scott. Tom gets 20 viewers easy, and now this Skippy Gate fiasco. Jeez, bro. Yeah. Yeah, we really, I mean, we never do well, but I mean, lately here, and I get to see the number of impressions, that's how many people actually get it in their feed. Oh, it's gone way down. And I
thought that was mostly just the amount of people that were impressed by the show.
No, YouTube suppresses the truth Tom brings to the table. Yes. Trying to
I don't know, man. I
smother my
think
take on Skippy the Bush Kangaroo. I started using YouTube tag generators, which are really important in the algorithm, from an AI because I figured the AI would be smart enough to figure out the best one. Nope. Doesn't work nearly as well as when I do it. So I'm going to stop doing that. But I had to A/B test it, and this week has just been brutal. Chalk with one up to Scott, Tom. Move on to the next show with your head held high. Chalk with one up to, I don't.
Why don't you just choose topics that are more relevant to search terms, Do a show on, I don't know, assassinations or something like that.
I've done
something that's going to
Scott,
get the
I've done 10 shows on assassinations. What the hell's wrong with you? Yes, you just do the shows you do, and then. But lately, I'll be honest with you. I admit I have not been like sitting down and thinking of the most riveting.
What are currently trending topics in the news? Oh, like the Palestine. Yeah,
I don't want to be involved in that. I don't want to be involved in that. That's.
Who are you for? Are you for the Jews or the brown people?
What is it when you don't really have any interests whatsoever?
You got to pick a side.
I don't know. I can see where they both have a right to be a little steamed. You should box fellow radio guy comedy shop. That's a one-punch fight, ladies and gentlemen. I might be old, but
the Halloween show is coming up. When is that? I don't know what date Halloween is.
Halloween is the 31st of October, and that is on a Friday. That'll be a week.
So that's going to be 2 weeks from tomorrow. Show for Jesse.
2 weeks from tomorrow. Yes, it will. But isn't his showing on the 30th rather than the 31st?
I'm not sure, but it's the Halloween Red Rooms 2.
3.
That's right. Yep.
Why am I the expert on Jesse PS all of a sudden while you're here?
I'm busy running countries, doing budgets and shit, man. You can't.
I want the Browns to stop getting genocided personally. Cleveland? December 30th is Awfulween. Confirmed. December 30th? December?
So Chris is for the Browns. Okay. That's interesting.
I don't follow the NFL, so I can't tell you what's going on. No, October 30th. Yes, that's what I had said. That is what I had said. I'm retarded. Sorry. It's all right. It'll wear off. All right. I got to go. I'm sure
I do have to go as well, Tom. Actually, right. I need to go. You don't need to go, but I need to go. So.
Okay. Well, thank you for being here. He didn't even let me give him a fond farewell. What a bunch of hooey. All right, let's just go ahead and just a little more of this, I think, probably is what the people want. Look at this. She is flying. Look at that, folks. Look at that. I'm telling you, that is Mo Dockin. That's moving at a great rate of speed. Let's see here. Oh, wait, here. Chris Brown, no. Some sort of power sign. Have a great night, everyone. You too, roller skater, Texas girl. Very much appreciate that. I got to figure out this camera. There's something going on here. Maybe just need a new computer, which, yeah, contributions to the show help me get a new computer much faster. Can I just get a new computer? Yeah, but I'm weird about something's got to pay for itself kind of thing. Red Rooms 2, 3, and 4. WPWW. That's my future wife. Well, Chris. Oh, roller skater. Texas girl says she has a need for speed. There you go. That roller skating is cooler than anything they did in Tron. You got that right. Scott Green is, of course, a paying member. And, of course, the Prime Minister now of Australia. Skunt pays. He certainly does. People are laughing. And it is. And we are. Let me get this outro queued up. And this is our last show of the week. So we'll be back here Monday night with Bob Ross. Tuesday night, the Ludovico technique and other aversion therapies. Aversion therapy is like something you do. If you want to quit smoking, you jab yourself with a knife every time you want to. That's what an aversion therapy is. Wednesday will be recreational vehicles. Thursday, I don't know. Let's see here. Hell yeah. Who's got the crystal? I have the need for speed too. Great show, Tom and Scott. Very fun stuff. Scott, of course, posts something that I can't put on screen. I missed it. I had to go to dinner with my aunt. Dinner with aunts. Overrated. All right. I think with all that being said, there's really only one thing left to say, and that, of course, is till next time, have a good weekend. We'll see you next time.
'Cause